kind of scary because I haven't rearranged these in a couple of years now. And my plan right now is to do this bookcase YA, because this is mainly what I film in front of, and this bookcase middle grade, and I'm going to alphabetize them. And this just works for me because I like having books like by the same author together because I think it looks nicer. And I'm kind of scared to see how it's going to end up looking out, and we might end up changing things as we go. But I'm really excited. I have a couple piles of books here that are on my TBR, but I need to make sure they fit in my bookcase, and then I'll put them back over on my TBR. So we're just going to go straight at it. It's kind of late right now. Right now it is 6:56. So I'm going to start a little on it, just kind of do a little planning around, and then we'll see how far I get before I go to bed.
So I said we'll see how far I get today, and then I ended up doing that entire thing that night because I actually was a lot faster than I thought I was going to. But I did figure out a pretty good game plan early on. So here you can see me taking all my trinkets and tchotchkes all off my shelves and moving them, and then I started dividing them into two piles: YA in front of my YA bookcase and middle grade in front of the middle grade one. This was probably the most stressful part because I just kept making stacks. They were falling over. I didn't know if I should be alphabetizing yet, but I decided to just clear off my entire YA bookcase and just start there. But I thought it was such a great idea to put all my tchotchkes up on that shelf until I realized that's the first shelf I was going to have to organize to make all of this work. So you do see a lot of junk on my shelves and on my reading nook here. That's just because I didn't quite think about the fact that you could see my entire bookcases while filming. So my reading bookcase has pillows and all these random books. Those are the books that fit my bookcase. And then I left over snowflakes on one of my bookcases and a conditioner. And then I have all these other boxes. So I did start just by putting my Harry Potter books all together in one cute little section because those are ginormous. I have the illustrated editions. They take up a lot of room. So then I put my cute little plants up there. It didn't actually end up staying there, but it was a good way to get most of that bigger stuff out of the way because that was the biggest stuff. So here I started making post-its with letters of the alphabet divided so I could try and start putting them on the shelves. And this was a good idea at first until I remembered that I don't quite know the alphabet super well. So I was just singing the ABCs to myself multiple times because I could not remember where anything was. And it was all uneven, but I knew I just needed to start and get it on my bookcase because my main worry when I start organizing stuff like this is that everything just gets everywhere and I just start having piles absolutely everywhere. So I just need to start moving. And then I got hot and my headphones died. So I took off my headphones and I think I just started playing my audiobook on speaker and put on my Ann Wilson shirt. I was playing my audiobook on my computer because I was trying to record with my phone. So I was so locked. I think I was listening to Rivals by Catherine McGee, the third book in the American Royal series. Absolutely love that series. It's so good. And it's a very like drama packed series, so it's something good to listen to when you're doing something kind of mundane. Like right here, alphabetizing everything was really mundane and kind of just boring as a whole. But so then I had to spend a lot of time moving around my shelves. So every shelf except one shelf on my bookcases are like move aroundable, and you can move these pegs. That's not the right word, but you can move these pegs. So a lot of this video is just me standing around staring at my shelves and then moving them. So I had some more books that I just got. I got the Naturals box set, I think actually the day before that on Easter, so I had to figure out where those were going to go and then put all my Allie Carter books up there. So this was actually kind of nice because it was like everything has a specific spot. I wasn't going to be messing around like move this over here, put this over here, move around, move around. It was like everything has one spot. It's alphabetized. Once again, I was just singing the ABCs to myself repetitively. My only concern is if I buy a bunch of books, then I have to figure out where all of them are going to go. And then I think I'm just screwed. So now I have my second shelf. So this second shelf was originally a very tall shelf. You can see it on the other bookcase. That was very tall for my Harry Potter books and other bigger books. So by moving everything, that's the only shelf that cannot be moved. So I'd move everything around it. And then you can see that some of my lower shelves were very small and skinny. So I had to move those down as well because most of my books aren't small and skinny. Those are like where my babysitters clubs used to go before they went on my reading bookcase. So now I'm moving all my books. I have all my Stacey Lee books. I bought those recently actually and they were still on my TBR, but I needed to make sure they would all fit. And I don't know if you guys can see it super well, but I do have two copies of Heiress of Nowhere. I was sent them by the publisher and got two, and I just don't know what to do with them. But my copies are absolutely gorgeous. If you saw my unboxing, you should go check it out. But those copies are so pretty and gorgeous and actually are prettier than the actual copies. So then I realized I had to move that bookcase down. I had to take everything off of it, move the pegs, and then those pegs, sometimes I don't do the best job screwing them in, and I have to like loosen them around. So that was a little bit rough, making sure they wouldn't fall. And then I got frustrated because I started putting books in the wrong spot, and it was just a little bit of chaos there. I don't really know what was happening, but I do like the way this is set up. Like, even looking at it right now as I record this voiceover, I do like having all my books by the same author together. It does look a little disorganized, but this is like the most organized my bookcase looked in a long time, because at the end you'll see all my tchotchkes are just kind of cleared off and it looks absolutely gorgeous. And I actually got rid of so many books doing this. So now I moved over to a middle grade section. So I was just pulling everything off the shelves and putting it more in the middle grade pile. And then all my tchotchkes were over there. Oh, had to pull my hair up. Getting very sweaty in my room. And so, talking about the books I got rid of, I am planning a trip to McKay's bookstore in Chattanooga, Tennessee. They have multiple ones in Tennessee. In a couple months, my family's driving down to Florida, and then we're going to stop there. So I got rid of a lot of books. Well, just sitting in my basement. But I'm planning on getting rid of them at McKay's to trade in for credit. So my bookcase used to be absolutely stuffed, and now I have a full empty shelf of room that I don't really know what to do with, but it kind of looks nice, just like empty, sitting there. Looks pretty organized and cute. So I really like how that one looks. But this is just getting rid of the books I really don't enjoy, because I was inspired by my friend, it's Serenity, to make sure my library was full of books that I really, truly, deeply enjoyed. And I was able to get rid of so many books by looking at it, being like, have I read this more than multiple times since I got it? Has it sat with me? Does this hold a lot of memories with me? Because some of the books I have, I maybe haven't read in a while, but they hold a lot of childhood or family memories. But I was able to just get rid of so many books, and it just inspired me to also do a deep clean of my room, because my room was getting a little cluttered. So I was able to do a really nice deep clean of my room with that idea. So this spring cleaning has really hit me hard. And then I don't know if you guys can see in the right corner, that used to be my Bible study corner. I had a little chair, so I have all my notes up. I did end up moving those as well. If you check out my bookcase tour short, and then I have a full length bookcase tour coming out next week, I will kind of explain some of that move around, because I really enjoyed moving that stuff around. But my library looks a lot different than it did just like before filming this video, because A, I reorganized, and B, I moved stuff around. So now my middle grade, my top shelf, I kept getting frustrated because I had big chunks of series that I really wanted to all to go together, like my Fairy Tale Reform School, Kalanita, School for Anival Chainani, and then Land of Stories, Chris Colfer. Most of my middle grade books are series, so that made it a little easier to kind of manage, whereas most of my YA is standalones. You can see on my YA shelf, I did move a couple more books over there because I wasn't sure if I was going to run out of room on my YA shelf, and I actually ended up being totally fine. I was like overthinking it. So I did move some more books over there that I then put in later, but it all worked out good in the end. No worries. So now on my middle grade shelf, I moved all my post-its over there. It was very nice. And I just started stacking everything together. And oh, it's going to come up soon. I had to move. You can see that second to last bottom shelf is very, very tiny, and books just don't fit in that. So I did do a lot of standing around during this video, because I was trying to figure out what I had to move, where my books were going, like where they were going to go. And if you do see me look at the camera and look kind of weird, that is probably because somebody came into my room, someone knocked on my door, or my audiobook did something weird, because I had my audiobook in my tripod, and my tripod was like in the same vicinity as my doorway. And I have a family, so they do like to come in a lot and see what's really happening. So I didn't move a lot of books around now. It was very nice once I got stuff going, really. I think this is where I realized I did have to move that bookshelf. And I kind of got really mad because it just wasn't working at all. And the pegs do like to pop out of those. So a couple times I found a loose peg. I was like, cool. Well, this is great. Now what do I do with this? And yep, there it goes. I realized, yep, have to move that one down too. But hopefully these are all at decent heights. So if I do reorganize it, I will not have to move those. It used to be, my books were kind of organized by size. I had like my bigger books in specific spots, my littler ones in other spots, so that's why it was really wonky. But by getting rid of most of my bigger books, it was kind of able to just move everything around, freshen everything up. So I am almost done my middle grade shelf at this point. So I only filled half of the last shelf, and then below it, I put my American Girl Smart Girls guides as well as some personal books like yearbooks. So there's a pan. I hope you guys love this video, and please keep on watching. It really means a lot to me that you guys are subscribed to my channel and you watch these videos. And I just really hope that you guys all have an amazing day. Bye!